Hey everyone, Ronin here. Today we're going to be reacting to the movie Meet Joe Black. Why, you ask? For a couple reasons, and uh, one's kind of a more serious thing, but first, it's probably my favorite movie ever. Um, uh, Maybe some of you might think that's weird, or um, maybe you just haven't really seen this. I don't really know a whole lot of people have seen this movie, but it's uh it's got some themes in it that I'm kind of relating to right now. Um, here's the other reason, which is a little more serious. But so basically, what's been going on with me lately, I felt like I needed to talk about this in some sort of video because it just felt kind of weird to um, continue to make these videos without ever mentioning it, as if nothing's been going on in my life, uh, or that everything's just been, just fine. But uh, my cat actually passed away recently, on October 8th, and it's been kind of a little rough. I've been kind of going through, the mourning process with that, and yeah, it's been a little rough. Like, it's, I'm sure a lot of you have lost pets too, and grief is just kind of like it's an ongoing thing. It's on days where you feel like you've had a breakthrough and you've had a good day. The next day could be different. And but just to kind of give you like a little bit of a um little bit of details, but not like too much of what happened. Basically, on the morning of October 8th, the morning started just fine, like any other morning. He jumped on the bed and was pawing me to get pet, and as cats do, waking me up to go feed him and stuff like that. And I just remember, it was like 7 in the morning. I'm not a morning person, so my eyes were just like welded shut. But I was petting him, and I remember him purring and everything, and I'd open up my eyes a little bit, and I saw him, and he was fine. And it's just crazy that looking back now, at that little brief moment where I was just able to like barely open my eyes and see him, it's just crazy that that was gonna be the last time I was ever gonna see him. So after that moment, he would be gone a couple hours later, and it was pretty rough. I didn't see it coming. He didn't show any signs earlier in the previous days or anything like that. There have been no weird changes in his, you know, and how he was carrying himself or anything like that. Um, so it was really shocking for me, and it's just like crazy how someone could be here 1 minute and then a minute later it could be a whole different story. So I'm happy I was at least able to be there, and so I kind of feel like I needed to at least acknowledge it on my channel so that I can kind of move on. There have been a number of things I've done already that has helped give me a bit of closure, but this is kind of like the last part of it, I think. Um, at least when it comes to like my day-to-day stuff, like there's still going to be a couple more things later on because of what we're going to do with the remains and stuff like that. Um so I'm going to do something special in regards to that, but at least to help me through my day-to-day, to make sure that I can get some closure, at least at this part of my life, uh I'm going to just dedicate this video to him as best I can. That's going to be it for the serious stuff. Now onto the movie. This is really fantastic movie. It doesn't necessarily have to do with pets or anything like that, but it does have to do with the idea of the afterlife or death and things like that. And it's kind of a feel good movie. There's romance in it, so it's very much kind of not so much related to what I just talked about, but it kind of at least feels like it's in the realm of it. Um and it's been a while since I've seen this movie, and I always like to revisit it because it's got a lot of interesting ideas in there. Is it a perfect movie? No, but it's got. I feel like for me, this is like a really classy movie. Um, there's a lot of aspects of this movie I feel like are masterfully done. The acting and um, Anthony Hopkins is probably my favorite actor. Uh, and and the music in this movie is spectacular. So if you haven't watched this movie yet, please do. I'm happy to watch it with you, obviously. Hopefully, you join me on this. And if you love movie scores, I highly suggest you pick up this score. And I believe it was Thomas Newman that did the score. It was Thomas Newman. Just had to double check that. But I believe he also did, movies like, Finding Nemo and stuff like that. So he does have a bit of a signature sound. It's just it's beautiful. It's like really the best way I can describe his sound. But anyway, it's a long movie, so we better get started. So if you guys, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna promote. It just doesn't feel right for this one. Um, if you want to look for that kind of stuff, it's in my description below. We're just going to go on it and get into this. So I hope you enjoy. So yeah, he's hearing some voices.
Daddy loves Frisia. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, hello. Hi.
Lights?
Lights. Not too bright and not too dark.
I don't know this actress's name, but she's always playing a character that seems difficult to deal with. I think she's a great character here, but it looks like she does have like
Going out of my mind.
she's complex. We can just say that. Claire Forlani.
Oh, Dad. Drew called from the helicopter, and they're still 2 minutes away.
Drew's aboard.
She is stunning in this movie. We'll see. We'll see. I'll have my moments. Well,
Hello, beautiful.
so we're rich. Like this family is rich, for sure. It's got to be pretty crazy to be in this atmosphere. I do feel bad for that daughter planning the party though. She's working so hard.
Do you love Drew?
You mean like you loved Mom?
It's not what you say about Drew, it's what you don't say.
Yeah, she doesn't have a whole lot to say.
There's not an ounce of excitement, not a whisper of a thrill. I want you to get swept away. Sing with rapture and dance like a dervish. Because the truth is, honey, there's no sense living your life without this. To make the journey and not fall deeply in love, you haven't lived a life at all.
There's a lot of like really inspiring things in this movie that are said.
Who knows? Lightning could strike.
And then the music comes in very subtly here.
You have to sew. Sorry. Hit the books, get the degree. One day we'll be hanging out a shingle together. How's that?
She can't help but listen in on that.
It's talking kind of loud there. I'm sorry.
Oh, not at all. It was fascinating.
That's the way it is with men and women, isn't it?
What's the way?
Nothing lasts.
Yeah, I agree.
Why?
I was just trying to be agreeable.
Claire's eyes are like daggers to me. Like I feel like they're like looking through me essentially. Brad's the same way too, though. You know what I mean? So in his defense.
So you're a doctor.
I'm a resident, internal medicine.
So if I needed a doctor, you could be it.
I could be her.
It's already happening. They're already looking at each other in that way.
I have some patients coming in, so I should probably
Yeah, I gotta
go.
get to the apartment and get off to work. I'd still like to have another cup of coffee.
Yeah, okay.
Look at her.
Yeah. Yes, what? Yes, is the answer to your question.
That's got to be scary to just be okay 1 minute and then not in the next.
You're trying to handle the situation. But this is the one situation you knew you never could handle.
Interesting visual of Anthony Hopkins. You know, this whole time he's been in his suit and he's surrounded by big buildings and, you know, he's a big deal. All of a sudden this comes along and he's brought to his knees.
If you and I were married, I would want to give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
You'll have a hard time finding women like that these days.
I don't know. Lightning could strike. Listen, did I say something wrong?
No.
No?
No.
Sure.
No. It was so right. It scares me. That's all.
That's usually a good sign at the end of
I
the
was thinking
conversation.
I want to be my doctor.
Why?
Because I like you so much.
I don't want to examine you.
You don't? Why not?
Because I like you so much.
That's got to be such a good feeling.
Understood.
Okay, all right.
Fair enough. See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's like two people discovering magic for the first time and they discovered it together. I don't know if you guys remember this from a couple of years ago, something like that. Like this scene, I think in particular, blew up on Twitter, which like tripped me out because I was like, why is my favorite movie trending right now? And it was this scene. I think people were like freaking out that they can't seem to turn around at the same time and look at each other. I think that was the topic of why they brought it up. It was either that or, you know, here in a moment. Man, that's... And in the real world, that would be all it would take to lose that. That's that scene still looks pretty shocking.
I'm waiting outside the front door, Bill. Won't someone let me in?
It would be pretty freaky to hear that and then to go check and someone is there.
Is there someone at the front door?
I didn't hear a ring, sir.
Have a look, would you please?
You're right, Mr. Parrish. There was a gentleman at the door.
I'll show him into the library. Tell him I'll be right there.
Did they seem that way to you, Daddy?
I don't know.
She keeps getting the short end of that stick.
Where are you? I'm here. The great Bill Parrish at a loss for words. The man from whose lips fall rapture and passion and obsession.
It's actually a great looking room. Nice library.
I want to have a look around before I take you. And in return, you get... I get what? Time.
Be my chauffeur. I mean, at this point, if you're hearing yourself talking to you in this way, you have to at least think of, like, if you did ask yourself a question that was like a huge question, you need to be thinking it could be the craziest thing you asked yourself. But I think he's also afraid to acknowledge what that question was.
Am I going to die? Yes. Now, who the hell are you?
This is like the greatest stare down. It's like so awkward.
You are. Your death.
Yes.
Mr. Parrish? Will the gentleman be staying for dinner, sir?
And
Yes.
and that stare down was actually the scene I think that even got me to watch this movie to begin with, because I think at MTV Movie Awards they made up a fake award for best stare down or something like that. So thanks to that, I ended up watching this movie.
When I introduce you, if I say who you are, I don't think anyone will stay for dinner.
Then don't.
Here's a random guy. He's gonna sit down, and we're not gonna introduce him. That's just how it is.
Hello.
Sorry to.
This is so awkward.
And wouldn't it be nicer if my father would introduce you?
How nice to meet you.
Daddy, does your friend have a name?
A name?
You should have thought of this before you walked in the room.
Joe.
Joe.
Just plain Joe.
Love that name.
Me too. Is there any more to it?
He looks so goofy standing there.
Black.
At last. Nice to meet you, Mr. Black.
It's like, man, it's like it's literally navigating a human being who's never been a human being before in front of your family right on the spot. And Brad's just doing a great job, just reacting as if, you know, you're seeing everything for the first time. So like he just seems like so interested in everything that's moving around him.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to have dinner
Oh,
with the
fuck.
chief.
You ate?
Here we go.
Here on I wouldn't miss a loose ends meeting. What's on the table for discussion? Party favors, flowers.
Oh, shit.
What are you doing here?
You know each other?
This morning, the Corinth coffee shop. He was looking for a doctor.
Joe, you do get around.
That's your name?
And isn't it a lovely one? So sturdy, so straight.
That's what she said.
Where you staying?
Here?
Great. Great. Great.
He just gets to
Will
do
that
whatever he
hold
wants.
you, Joe?
Incidentally, Joe, what?
Black. This is fun. Yes. Yes, Quince, it is.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, how is it that you happened to meet my daughter?
I didn't meet her. The young man I took met her. That is, the fellow she encountered in the coffee shop this morning.
What happened to him?
I needed a body, Bill.
Yep, we had to kill him. We had to kill Brad in order to be Brad.
You must have something very big going on with my father. And I thought you were just a regular Joe, hitting on me in as nice a way as I've been hit on in a long time. What are your intentions?
Yeah, she must be like really skeptical about him.
What happened to that sweet
just-
guy from the coffee shop?
He's listening, but
What are you eating?
Peanut butter. But it's gone now.
she's talking about like some serious shit, and he's sad about his peanut butter.
Do you love Drew?
Excuse me?
When you put your mouth to his, it seemed a frequent thing.
True is none of your business. And neither is where I put my mouth.
I don't know if I can get through this. What do I do? What do I tell my family?
But I am certain, should you say who I am, our adventure would end abruptly.
I mean, who would believe him anyway, you know?
I'll tell you what. You promised this undertaking of yours involves only me and,
And what?
I won't tell anyone who you are.
Sounds fair enough. That's great.
I don't know how to tie a tie either. I would have gone as far as Brad did.
And call my family. I'd like them to have dinner with me tonight.
Didn't the family get together last night?
Perhaps you'd like to wait in my office.
Why would you even question that? I don't get that.
What I'm trying to say is this is a board meeting and you're not a member
I'm
of the
sure
board.
you'll find a way to make it all right.
Why don't you just say he's your personal assistant?
Certainly you can't get enough of a good thing.
Thank you.
Joe, would you like to sit there?
So awkward.
Our sole order of business today is an acceptance of John Bonacue's generous offer. And I think
Give me
Bill...
more of these delicious cookies. The jelly ones.
Just
Is there anything else, Mr. Black? How about some water?
Why, yes, thank you.
Hot or cold?
Cold?
And a glass?
Drew doesn't like him already, but and Joe is just oblivious to all the social cues.
Reporting the news is a privilege and a responsibility, and it is not exploitable. Parish Communications has earned this privilege. John Bonacue wants to buy it. This company is not for sale.
Future, the truth is joining John Bonacue is every bit as certain as death and taxes.
Death and taxes? Death and taxes?
Yes,
What an odd pairing.
it's just a saying, Mr. Black.
By whom?
Doesn't matter.
Then why'd you bring it up?
Drew's like a huge douchebag, and Joe actually kind of in his own way is kind of a douche too, but he's kind of just there just trying to have a good time. He's really not trying to ruin anything, but he also like doesn't really put up with anybody's shit either. So it's just an interesting like back and forth between them.
Good. Now I'd like to be alone. This'll hold you for a while. You know about money, don't you?
You can't buy happiness?
Like it wouldn't be accurate to like call Joe like a kid or like compare him to a kid because he does have a little bit of that in him, but he's still, you know, this force of nature at the same time.
Are you ill?
Oh, goodness, no.
Then why are you here, Joe?
I'm here to see you.
Doctor,
Oh, just 1 second. I'll be right there.
please, my mama is sicker than him.
Oh, be a,
No, mama.
oh, be a man. I'm going to die.
What's Sophia?
Bad spirit. She just thought fever. She don't mean nothing. Please help us.
Of course.
No, be a sister. No devil, no dopey. Everything gonna be irie.
And I've seen the video of the person like critiquing Brad's accent. I mean, obviously I don't speak it at all, so it's over my head for sure. So I get that he's not saying things like completely accurate, but
Go with the doctor, lady. Mom gonna be fine now.
Don't leave.
for my ignorance,
She'll be right
it
back.
you know, I can get through it just fine. But I'm definitely more into the way this lady speaks. I think it's a really like interesting and wonderful
Oh, be a,
language.
Right. Will be evil, I not evil, oh man.
you waiting here to take us? Like you's the bus driver to there.
No, man, I on holiday.
Make it go away.
Doctor lady, make it irie.
Not this being. Take me to that next place.
It's not your time now.
Make it time.
I do think it's a fascinating idea that she can look at him and just know exactly like who he is. Maybe it's because maybe she's as old as she is, or her beliefs, or I don't know, but and even though nothing's being said here, I kind of feel like he's showing her like what the next place at least looks like. Yeah, he's not taking her yet, but he kind of gave her like a little sample
You can go with her.
of like what she can look forward to.
Good? Cold lamb sandwich with cilantro. My wife turned me on to cold lamb sandwiches. Joan, that was my wife.
Yeah, of course he would know too.
Yeah, cold lamb sandwiches. Not as chewy as roast beef, not as boring as chicken. She knew stuff like that. Everything reminds me of her. There isn't a day goes by that I don't think about her. One day she didn't feel well, the next day she was gone.
The music, so good.
Well, she had on this little blue suit. The little white collar that had little red piping on it.
I feel you, Anthony. I feel you. Man, it's such a great scene.
A man wants to leave something behind. He wants it left behind the way he made it. He wants it to be run the way he ran it, with a sense of honor, of dedication, of truth. Okay?
Easy, Bill. You'll give yourself a heart attack and ruin my vacation.
I've developed some great prospects, and I want to come and talk to you about them next week.
It's up to Joe.
Joe, you just don't know how glad I am you're aboard, because anybody who can take some of the weight off the old man,
I mean, sure, he kisses his butt a little bit, but he throws himself completely into it. It's just like you know he only means well.
The timing's got to be right, because the old man says it's up to Joe.
He says up to Joe? Those are his words?
Yeah.
Have dinner again tomorrow night, okay?
Dinner again?
Yeah.
You haven't had enough of us yet, Dad?
Yeah, he's spending every free moment he's got with them.
No.
I think everybody would do that though if they knew like how much time they had left. So I mean, I guess Anthony Hopkins, like, I think Bill has some things to like kind of learn or relearn, or at least like kind of reassess like what's important to him as the movie progresses and stuff. Like, yes, a lot of it has to do with business, but now he's definitely more attentive to his family.
Why do you like peanut butter so much? I adore things like that. Food I can't do without. Don't you?
Yes.
She's just straight up flirting with him in front of her boyfriend.
You don't want to disappoint Dad.
Daddy will do fine. Besides, he's got Joe. And it seems you do too.
You're out of line.
Well, that may be, but I don't like the ubiquitous creep. I don't like the way he looks at you. I don't like the way he talks to you. And vice versa.
He's got a point, technically. She just straight up does it right in front of him.
So you're married?
No, I'm not.
You have a girlfriend?
No.
I don't know if I can handle this woman looking at me like that.
So tell me, Joe.
Let alone taking a step towards me like that.
Intelligent, well-spoken, is all alone in this world.
She's like really like speaking to him, not just as a human being, but like as like the entity that he actually is.
We'll just leave it a mystery. That is the way you want it, isn't it?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, she kind of like deconstructed him.
Good night, Susie. Get some sleep. Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
Man, this whole family makes out with each other.
Montague was so anxious to get us. He said he'd take parish communications with Bill Parrish or without. In this crisis, and be assured.
You can tell not all of them are quite on board with that.
What's with the new digs?
Drew's idea of cloak and dagger. This is a secret meeting, Quince.
Like, I am not sitting in the middle of this shit.
2, possibly 3 new and boiling hot prospects for merger.
And how did Bill react to the leads you've developed?
He was interested. He says it's up to Joe.
On a mille-feuille crust?
I don't like cake.
It's for the party, Dad.
Ah. The goddamn party.
Again, she gets the shit end of the stick with the whole situation.
I am trying to throw the party of the century for my father in 2 days, and you just don't give a shit.
He gives a shit.
He doesn't give a shit.
Bum, bum, bum. This one.
He gives a shit.
Yeah, it's just nice to see. Love to see Bill like go through his ups and downs, even though he has like all this stuff. There's still like a lot of problems he has as a father, how he views one daughter to the next, his business, trying to juggle that, and then his own life is at stake as well. And then he's also trying not to have one of his daughters fall in love with death.
Who is the man standing to your left? We have reason to believe Mr. Black is not only influencing your decisions in regard to this company, but that you are relying on him to make them for you.
Yeah, Quince didn't know he was helping Drew.
One more time. Who is Joe Black?
Just personal assistant. That's such an easy...
Mandatory retirement upon our chairman's 65th birthday. Plus, of course, a settlement. A golden parachute of such magnitude that his feet will never touch the ground.
Yes.
No.
No.
Motion's passed.
Fucking scumbag. The fact that he hired him to do a job and he gets him fired.
You got the old man fired.
That we did. Thanks to you. Once John Bonnecue acquires Parish Communications, it's going to break apart. Peddle it piece by piece to the highest bidder. That was a game plan right from the start.
The only thing he did wrong was trust him.